In the untamed wilderness, John the Baptist emerges as a commanding figure by the Jordan River. His robust form stands out against the rugged landscape, a stark beacon of spiritual intensity. His voice, a resonant force, echoes across the wilderness, capturing the attention of those gathered. His words cut through the air, a call to transformation. Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. The crowd listens intently, each face etched with a mix of hope and trepidation as they consider his demanding message. From Nazareth, a solitary figure, Jesus, approaches the tranquil Jordan River. John stands in the river, awaiting Jesus' arrival with solemn anticipation. In a moment of sacred surrender, John baptizes Jesus in the flowing waters. As Jesus emerges, the heavens split open, revealing the divine. The Spirit descends like a dove. A voice from heaven echoes, "Thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." In a desolate wilderness, Jesus walks with unwavering resolve, his figure a stark contrast against the barren landscape. 40 days etch themselves onto his face as Jesus endures the harshness of the wilderness, his spirit unyielding. Satan manifests in myriad guises, his whispers weaving temptations around the solitary figure. Each insidious offer is met with the silent strength of Jesus' unwavering resolve, his spirit unbroken. The wilderness tests but cannot break him. Jesus remains steadfast, his spirit a beacon in the desolation. Under the vast sky of Galilee, Jesus approaches the tranquil shore, his gaze sweeping across the horizon. Simon and Andrew stand knee-deep in the water, their strong arms casting a wide net, hoping for a bountiful catch. Jesus calls out to them, a beacon of hope in his voice, "Come ye after me, and I will make you to become fishers of men." Simon and Andrew pause, their faces etched with a mix of curiosity and profound understanding as they consider the invitation. The Sea of Galilee glistens, reflecting the dawn of a new journey for those called to a higher purpose. Along the tranquil shores of Galilee, Jesus advances, his presence a beacon of change. Nearby, James and John, alongside their father Zebedee, are sitting, repairing nets, soon aware of the divine encounter awaiting them. Jesus calls James and John. The call to destiny hangs in the air, poised to transform lives and alter the course of history. Sunlight floods the synagogue, illuminating the sacred space. Jesus stands tall, his voice echoing with undeniable authority. The congregation listens intently, their faces reflecting awe and wonder. His teachings challenge the old ways, offering a new path. On a crowded street, a leper shuffles forward, his face a canvas of desperation. He collapses before Jesus, his voice cracking under the weight of his plea. With a voice filled with raw emotion, the leper cries out, "If thou wilt, thou canst make me clean." Jesus looks down at the leper, compassion radiating from his eyes. Jesus responds, his voice filled with unwavering resolve, "I will, be thou clean." A wave of relief washes over the leper's face. The house pulsates with life as a bustling crowd fills every corner, their faces lit by the sun. Jesus stands calmly amidst the throng, his voice resonating with divine wisdom. "Son, thy sins be forgiven thee." The crowd is silenced by his words. A sudden commotion above draws all eyes skyward as a section of the roof begins to crumble. With unwavering resolve, friends carefully lower a paralyzed man on a mat through the opening. In the close confines of the house, scribes gather, their faces a canvas of doubt and growing suspicion. The scribes challenge Jesus, their voices laced with skepticism about the source of his power to absolve sins. The air thickens with unspoken tension as all eyes fixate on Jesus, the focal point of their collective scrutiny, and the man lying motionless on the mat. Jesus speaks, his voice cutting through the heavy silence. "Whether is it easier to say, 'Arise and take up thy bed and walk'?" With a surge of newfound strength coursing through him, the man abruptly throws off his blanket. He rises to his feet, disbelief etched across his face, and walks before them all, a testament to the power he has just experienced. Under the vast sky, a sea of faces turns towards Jesus, their expressions reflecting anticipation. The golden light of the sun bathes the hills as Jesus prepares to speak, his presence commanding attention. His voice resonates across the open field, carrying the weight of his message to every ear. Farmers, merchants, and families alike lean in, their lives momentarily paused by his compelling words. With a gentle gesture, Jesus emphasizes the importance of understanding, urging his listeners to truly hear. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. His words echo through the countryside, challenging hearts and minds. The Sea of Galilee is battered by a furious storm, waves towering over a small fishing boat. Amidst the chaos, Jesus sleeps soundly in the stern, untouched by the tempest's fury. The disciples huddle together, their faces etched with terror, as they desperately bail water. "Master, don't you care if we drown?" They cry out, their voices lost in the wind and waves. Jesus rises, his gaze unwavering as he faces the storm. With a voice that cuts through the storm's roar, Jesus commands, "Peace, be still." Under the fierce sun, the desolate landscape of the Gadarenes unfolds, ancient tombs etched into the hillside. Jesus stands, a beacon of serenity, confronting a wild-eyed, disheveled man who dwells among the tombs. With a voice of undeniable power, Jesus commands, and a legion of demons writhes, expelled from their tormented host. The freed demons, now a swirling vortex of malice, plunge into a nearby herd of swine. Panic erupts as the swine, possessed by evil, stampede violently down the slope, their squeals echoing as they plunge into the sea. In the bustling street, a woman, frail and pale, extends a trembling hand, her eyes reflecting a desperate plea. With a touch as soft as a whisper, she brushes the edge of Jesus' robe, a silent hope riding on the contact. Jesus freezes, a subtle shift in his expression, a ripple of acknowledgement across his face. He turns slowly, his gaze, gentle yet profound, sweeping through the crowded street. His eyes lock onto hers, a moment of profound connection in the chaos of the crowd. Jesus speaks, his voice carrying a blessing of healing. "Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole." A heavy silence blankets the house, each breath stifled by sorrow as Jesus steps inside. Mourning faces turn towards him, their eyes reflecting a desperate hope amidst profound grief. Jesus speaks with divine authority. "Talitha cumi," "Damsel, I say unto thee, arise." Life surges back as the girl arises, defying the stillness that had claimed her. On the mountain, Jesus stands against the sky, his hair moving in the wind, awaiting a divine revelation. Before the astonished eyes of Peter, James, and John, Jesus' raiment transforms into a dazzling, ethereal white, almost too bright to behold. Beside Jesus, figures materialize. Moses and Elias, their presence commanding and voices resonating with authority. A voice echoes, declaring, "This is my beloved Son, hear him." Beneath the relentless sun, dust dances around the feet of Jesus and his disciples as they tread the road to Jerusalem. Jesus halts, his expression grave, a storm gathering behind his eyes. He beckons his disciples closer, drawing them into a circle of shared destiny. Jesus speaks with solemn weight. The Son of Man must suffer. His voice cracks with the weight of prophecy as he continues, "Be killed." Yet, hope flickers in his tone as he declares, "And after 3 days rise again." Against the ancient skyline of Jerusalem, a figure approaches, riding on a colt. The crowd erupts in joyous acclaim as Jesus makes his entrance. Their voices blend in a chorus of devotion. "Hosanna! Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord." The air vibrates with the force of their collective hope and reverence. In the heart of the temple, Jesus advances with righteous fury, his presence commanding attention. With a surge of divine anger, Jesus flips a table, sending coins scattering across the hallowed ground. A wave of alarm sweeps through the temple as Jesus overturns more tables, sending cages of doves crashing down. His voice echoes through the sacred space as he drives the merchants and money changers before him. The temple is now a scene of chaos, as Jesus restores the sacred space to its intended purity. In the dimly lit upper room, Anticipation hangs heavy as Jesus sits at the head of the long table, his disciples gathered around him. Jesus picks up a loaf of bread, the silence amplifying every movement. With solemn eyes, Jesus speaks, "Take, eat, this is my body." He holds up a cup, the dim light catching its surface as he announces, "This is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many." The disciples watch Jesus with a mix of confusion and reverence. The air is thick with unspoken emotions as the weight of Jesus' words settles upon them. Beneath the vast expanse of stars, the Garden of Gethsemane becomes a silent witness. Bathed in ethereal moonlight filtering through ancient olive trees, Jesus lifts his face towards the heavens. A voice echoes through the stillness, a plea from the depths of his soul. "Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me." In a surrender to destiny, he whispers, "Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt." Flickering torches cast eerie shadows across the courtyard, setting the stage for a night of betrayal. Judas approaches Jesus, his smile a mask for treachery. Judas embraces Jesus, his kiss sealing a dark fate. The kiss is the signal. Guards emerge from the shadows, their eyes menacing as they seize Jesus. Chaos erupts as the guards close in, their movements swift and brutal. The disciples scatter, their fear palpable as they abandon their leader. In Pilate's court, Jesus stands, his serenity a stark contrast to the brewing storm. Pilate, his brow furrowed, calls for order, his unease palpable. The crowd surges, their fury unleashed. "Crucify him." Pilate, succumbing to the mob's demand, delivers Jesus to be crucified. The court falls into a heavy silence as Jesus is led away. On Golgotha, Jesus hangs on the cross, his body a silhouette against the overcast sky. The crown of thorns cuts deep, blood tracing a path down his face. The weight of despair seems to crush him as the somber light dims around him. His voice, a mere whisper against the vast emptiness, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" The echo of his question hangs in the air, unanswered, as the world remains silent. Under the broad daylight, the tomb stands silent, its entrance now exposed, the stone cast aside. The massive stone lies displaced, the tomb's mouth gaping open into darkness. A radiant figure stands guard, bathed in a gentle light, his presence defying the shadows of the tomb. The young man's voice echoes with reassurance, "Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus. He is risen. He is not here." His words hang in the air, a beacon of hope against the backdrop of loss and despair. In Galilee, Jesus appears, his presence a beacon of divine serenity. Sunlight catches his palm as he speaks words of profound purpose. "Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved." The disciples gaze upward, their faces etched with awe and reverence at his divine presence. As the narration echoes, "He is received up into heaven," a new chapter dawns.